Hello guys, it's teacher Yolanda here again for our 10th session online. For this session we're going to watch a video together later on when we see each other via Zoom, but we're going to be using our English notebook only. Okay, so go and get it. The video that we're going to see today is of Moby. We're going to have a lesson on the styles of art. And for grammar, we're going to review our first conditional and time clauses. Ready? Again, the title is First Conditional Again. Remember that we saw that we have a condition. Do you remember? The condition, and then we have the result or the consequence. Let's talk about the condition. Remember that the condition in first conditional is always going to be in simple present. Yes? So pay attention. If you help me. If you help me, it's in simple present. Then we write our comma. Now our result here is not in simple present. Our result here will always be in future will. Remember that we use future will for very probable things to happen. Yes? Something that it's likely to happen. What it's likely to happen, probable que suceda. So, we have it. The condition was the first sentence in simple present, and the result is play with you. Okay? So it would be, if you help me, I will play with you. Let's look at the sentence now illustrated. If you help me, the result is, I will help with you. Help me to do what? To tidy up the room. Clearly, his room is quite messy. So, if Moby helps him, they'll finish fast and he will play with Moby. Let's look at another example. Here it says, if Nikki leaves the window open, this is a condition, and as you can see, it's in simple present. Why with an S? Because Nikki is a girl. It's a she. Remember that in simple present, he, she, and it take a verb with an S. So, if Nikki leaves the window open, comma, now the consequence. Lucky will run away. The consequence takes will. We have our summary. If you help, I will play. If Nikki leaves it open, Lucky will run. Let's look at some more examples. If you hit it, what is hit? Calentar. If you hit it, what is it? Water. If you hit it, the water will boil. This part is in simple present, which is the condition, and the result with future will. Now we have the same sentence, but with an inversion. The water will boil if you hit it. Remember that when we put if in the center, the comma automatically disappears. Now we're going to learn about unless. What is the meaning of unless? Unless means if not. In Spanish, it's something that we will take like a menos. A menos que. Unless. A menos que. Remember that less means menos, so it makes sense, right? So, we can use unless in our first conditional sentences. Let's learn how. This is a normal sentence, one that we are used to. If it doesn't rain, we will sleep in the treehouse. The condition in present and the result with future will. How can we use unless in this same sentence? Like this. Pay attention. Unless it rains, we will sleep in the treehouse. A menos que llueva, dormiremos en la casa del árbol. If we remember, the other synonym is if not, si no. So we could also say it like si no llueve, dormiremos en la casa del árbol. Can you see that? Let's check another example. You won't be strong unless you exercise. No vas a ser fuerte a menos que hagas ejercicio. O no serás fuerte si no haces ejercicio. Is it getting clearer? For our first conditional, we can use other time clauses. Not all the time clauses that we use are if and unless. There are some more. Let's learn about them. Look at these time clauses. All of these time clauses can be used instead of using if. All of these work like if. Let's look at them. Before, after, when, as soon as, until, once. What is before? Antes. After, después. When, cuando. As soon as, tan pronto como. Until, hasta. Once, una vez que. And we're going to use them as if we're using if, and after that we're going to use present. Let's learn how to do that. Here we have an example. He will look better after we wash him. Can you see? We didn't use if. Now we use after. What other words can we use here? We can use he will look better as soon as we wash him. Or once we wash him. What will be after we wash him? Después de que lo bañemos. As soon as we wash him, tan pronto como lo bañemos. Once we wash him. Una vez que lo bañemos. Can you see? If is not the only conjunction that we can use. Here we have our sentence. When she comes, we will shout. When, cuando ella venga. It could be also used if she comes, we will shout. Can you see? We can also use after. After she comes, we will shout. Or as soon as she comes, we will shout. Once she comes, we will shout. If she comes, we will shout. In the video that we're going to watch later, we're going to analyze these structures and we're going to see examples of as soon as, when, once, etc. So we have some vocabulary words that we're going to learn. If is a conjunction. Let's see it in a sentence. If you don't sit still, I can't paint you. Unless. Unless is also a conjunction. Remember, it means si no o a menos que. Unless you water it, the plant will die. A menos que la riegues, la planta morirá. Or, si no la riegas, la planta morirá. Weather. Weather is also a conjunction and it's not clima. It's a different word. Let's pay attention to it. I'm going to the party whether you come or not. What do you think is the meaning of whether? Whether means ya sea. Iré a la fiesta ya sea vengas o no. Can you see that? We have opposite. The book is opposite Moby. What is the meaning of opposite here? Here it means enfrente. It's a synonym of in front of, opposite. We have another meaning of opposite. Opposite can also mean these things. These are opposites: clean, dirty, big, small, black, white, fast, slow. These are opposites, but in this occasion, opposite works as an adjective. We have close. Ben and Moby are close to each other. Close, it's also a synonym of near, close. Now we have close. The book is close to Moby's face. Front. We can see the front of Moby. Front. Front. This is the front of a car. A cab, actually, or a taxi. Scythe. Now we can see the scythe of Moby. Scythe. Scythe. This is the scythe of a taxi, of a cab. Influence. Influence. What is influence? Influence is when you get inspired by something. You can get inspired for good things or bad things. Do you know who this man is? This man is Leonardo da Vinci, the man who painted the Gioconda or Mona Lisa. He was influenced by the art of the Greek and Romans. Influence. We can see this example. Look at the picture first. Moby was a bad influence on Abby. Can you see? We could have a good influence like the one of Leonardo da Vinci, or a bad influence like Moby. Portrait. Again, portrait. Portrait is a painting of a person. That is a portrait. Portrait. Ben is painting a portrait of Moby. Style. Again, style. Can you see the different styles of painting? Style. Moby can't decide what style to wear today. Point. Moby is pointing at the picture. Point. That is a verb. But point can be more than a verb. Point can be a noun. This is the point of your pencil. Point. Now we have impression. Impression. Pay attention. It has a double S. Impression. Impression can have many transformations as a word. Here, as a noun, the new teacher made a great first impression. A first impression. An impression is something really fast, something that you see just once and you get an idea about it. For example, the new teacher made a great first impression just with one class. Now, the verb of impression is impress. She did impress me. So that would be a verb. An adjective would be impressive. I thought she was very impressive. So, the new teacher made a great first impression. She impressed her students. Her students thought she was very impressive. Cube. Yes, it's a 3D shape. Cube. Cube. More examples of cubes. We have a Rubik's Cube, a nice cube, a cube of, I don't know, maybe Knorr or maybe butter, and a cube of Lego. Concrete. Concrete. Abstract. Abstract. What is abstract? Abstract is something that doesn't have a defined shape. This is abstract because we don't know what this picture is about. It's abstract. Let's pay attention to concrete and abstract as opposites. A heart, this one is a heart. A heart is concrete, but love is abstract. Okay, so something concrete is something that we can see, touch, and analyze. But something abstract, it's something that is different for everyone. Now, as we are talking about art, we're going to talk about the Renaissance. Again, Renaissance. The Renaissance is a movement that spread across Europe, and we're going to learn about that in the video that we see today in the class. The Renaissance was a period in which people stopped doing art just for the kings, the queens, and the church. They started doing arts and investigating and learning about science because they were curious. That's why it's called the Renaissance, because they were born again and they were seeing new things and learning new things. Next, Impressionism. Impressionism. Do you remember the word impression? Impression is when you look at something and you get a general idea. So this type of painting is called Impressionism because we cannot see at the faces quite clearly. We just get an impression more or less of what they look like. That's why it's called Impressionism. Now, Pointillism. What are these? All of these are points. Look at them. Point, 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 point. Lots of points. This technique is called Pointillism. Again, Pointillism. Listen to this pronunciation. Zm. Pointillism. Next, we have another art style. This art style is Cubism. Cubism. Do you remember the word cube? Well, it's called Cubism because all of the pictures that we're going to see have more or less the resemblance to straight lines. This is supposed to be a portrait, but as you can see, it's very abstract. And again, abstract art. Abstract art, it's art in which we cannot see the shape clearly. Maybe the painter wanted to show an emotion rather than something concrete. Remember, concrete and abstract are opposites. And last but not least, pay attention to the Zoom conversation that we're going to have today, and we're finally going to see the video of Moby and Ben talking about the styles of art, and we're going to practice with our first conditional. Also check the PDF because we have a quiz, a 10-question quiz about some of the words and the structures of first conditional. So don't miss our class today. And that be all for today. Bye, kids.